Hello, I'm Zach Miller.
And I'm Cheryl Tan, and this is Hampton Roads Business Weekly, an in-depth look at our local business community.
Today we are starting a brand new series focusing on financing. Over the next few weeks, we'll be looking at topics such as crowdfunding, managing your money, and even when to start paying yourself and hiring new employees.
To start things off, I talked with Daniel Veliki, one of the founders and co-owner of the Opus Group, a financial planning and wealth management firm in Virginia Beach. Daniel describes his journey from war-torn Croatia with nothing but $100 in his pocket to becoming a successful entrepreneur. You hear stories of self-made entrepreneurs, business people who start with nothing and then grow great companies. I want to introduce you to Daniel Veliki, the founder and partner of the Opus Group in Virginia Beach. And you really have an incredible story, starting out literally with $100 in your pocket.
So I came from Croatia, so I'm right off the boat, well, the plane. I actually took the plane. And I came here in '95, right after the war, August 5th, I think, the end of the war, and then my birthday was the 6th, and the 11th I was in the flight to America as a foreign exchange student. And I come from a family, I'm the first one in college. My parents didn't have much money. My dad was an auto electrician, my mom was a retail worker, and I just always found that studying in school was easy for me, and then just kind of got an opportunity to be a foreign exchange student. So after talking to my parents, they said, why don't you go try it, see what happens. And I came here, and it was one of the best things that I ever did, obviously.
You land in a new country, and you find college, you find mentors, you build a business, and it sounds easy, but I know it is anything but.
No, and the story is actually crazy, because it can only happen here, and it always gives me goosebumps when I talk about it. But I went to a little school in West Virginia. I was pretty much a 4.0 student, had great applications to every college, got accepted to all kinds of schools, had no money, and I cold walked into a restaurant in West Virginia, and I went to the owner and I said, hey, sir, you don't know me. I don't have a work permit, I don't have any money, anything. I want to work. If you would sponsor me, pay for my school, give me a job, I will pay you back everything in cash. And the guy actually sat there for about 10 seconds, looked at me and said, okay. And I mean, that happens
incredible.
Nowhere in the world. I met my wife at that restaurant. We both graduated from the school and then moved here in 2000, and that's when I started in the financial planning business. Just because I felt that was helped so much in my life through the time that I was in America, I wanted to help further and help other people.
We hope that this show is a source of inspiration for entrepreneurs budding or entrepreneurs right now in the trenches. What kind of advice can you give us?
I can tell you probably the main driver for everything that I've done so far in my life has been passion. I find so much value in being able to help people, and then just trying to be a better version of myself, and whatever it takes to get there, help from other people, because there's always people around that can make you better, that can elevate you, and using that and being able to really grow a great team, there's no price in that.
And it really started with that first restaurant, that one guy who gave you a chance.
It takes something from everybody that knows the story. It takes something to walk in and just ask for that. But that's the thing. If you don't have any other choices, might as well ask. I had a 50-50 shot. And that's honestly, when it comes to entrepreneurship, you either do it or don't do it. But if you try to do it, at least you have 50-50. So it worked out for me. It was great.
We have more with Daniel later on in the show, including why he believes entrepreneurs shouldn't try to do everything themselves.
But first, picture this scenario. You have a killer idea for a product or service, truly $1 million idea, but will people buy it? Coming up after the break, find out why if you don't have a market, you don't have a business. It's next on Hampton Roads Business Weekly. Okay, you have an idea for a killer product, but will people buy it? That's the subject of a new segment called Entrepreneurial Tears. I sat down with Dr. Gregory Stone, a professor at Regent University School of Business and Leadership. We talked about why some people are too afraid to do the necessary research before starting a business. So if there's no market for a business, there is no business. What does that really mean?
That means you can have the best idea in your own mind. You can have the best product in your own mind. But if nobody buys it, you have no business. I've seen entrepreneurs in other states with unlimited resources build a beautiful furniture company, and they've built it around what they liked.
Sure.
And it was great. It was beautiful Mediterranean furniture. But they were in a community that did not like Mediterranean furniture. And after being open for 6 months and no customers coming through the door, they very quietly sold the inventory and closed the business. The two important elements that look to see if there's a market is trying to find out who your competition is. And there is no competition is not the right answer. There's always some form of competition.
Sure.
The other thing is survey your friends, survey everybody else, and see what they think about your idea. See what they think about your product. See what they think about your service. Some may like it. Everybody may turn up their nose, and that's a good indication that the general market may not like it either.
One story that I like to tell a lot is my mom used to always tell me that I was a great singer. And then I tried out for chorus. And they were like, you're terrible. Is it similar to that? Try and actually make that physical transaction just because someone says they like it. Are they really willing to make a transaction or buy the product?
That's an excellent idea, and that's the way hundreds of entrepreneurs get started every day, is just making some of whatever it is and selling it out of the house, out of the third bedroom, out of the garage, baking something in the kitchen, and seeing if the people who say they really like it are going to spend the XYZ dollars and cents to see if they will really put the money out there and make the financial commitment to buy whatever it is. So it's worth trying to start small scale and ramp it up and see what it takes to produce it, see what it takes to make it, see if what you're charging covers your cost. It's a great way to test the waters. Stick a few toes in the water first before you go in hook, line, and sinker.
How do you get over the fact that my idea isn't for everyone or anyone, even though I love it?
Well, the first thing we've got to overcome is the fact that when we have a, quote, great idea, great product, great new service, you want to get out there and you want to broadcast it. You want to talk about it. You want to get out there and have everybody that can possibly torpedo it do so. You want to know what's wrong with it. You want to know why it's not going to work. You want to know why it doesn't work in somebody's life.
Why have you seen that people are not willing to go and ask people those questions so that you're not wasting time or money and resources later, that you're doing it at that front? Why are people so afraid to figure out what people think about their product, service, etc.?
Because we've heard those stories. Now, it's only one in a zillion,
right,
but we've heard those stories where somebody took somebody else's idea and ran with it. But that's not commonplace, that's very rare, and usually at the idea product stage of a small entrepreneur, that's not where the risk is. The risk is not that your idea will get stolen. The risk is that you're going to go launch something without the background information you really need to have to determine that there is a market out there. And remember, if there is no market, there is no business ultimately.
So get out there and see who likes it and then make it happen.
And if you get out there and you see that people don't like it, figure out why. Maybe all it takes is some minor adjustments. I've never seen an idea that was totally inept or worthless.
Right.
What I do see all the time are ideas that need to be tweaked, recalibrated, adjusted slightly, so that they're from over here to where the market is. Maybe they're off center from the marketplace just enough that it would result in no sales versus hitting where the market actually is and increasing sales.
Sure, fail and fail fast.
Yes.
She founded a company that's helping golfers improve their game with the use of a cell phone. Meet our Entrepreneur of the Week next on Hampton Roads Business Weekly.
We're back with more Hampton Roads Business Weekly. Time now for our Entrepreneur of the Week. Here we highlight local business owners to learn about the problems they have faced and the advice they have for other entrepreneurs.
I headed over to the headquarters of Feedback Enterprise, a startup company helping golfers improve their game. We talked about the impact starting a business can have on your family and friends, plus how to deal with rejection in the business world.
This journey that you're going to go on is not just going to affect you, it's going to affect your family, your friends, and they're going to go through the highs and lows with you.
So Sean, you're Entrepreneur of the Week. We're at the Feedback headquarters.
Yes, it's a tough place, isn't it?
The very beautiful official Hampton Roads waterways. Congratulations on being Entrepreneur of the Week.
Well, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Feedback and how you came about it 3.5 so years ago.
I was at the driving range and I was swinging away and I said, you know, my phone should be a coach. And told a friend about it. He said, hey, you need to go to there's this emerging startup community, and I went to an event that you were hosting, and I realized that Hampton Roads really had a lot of support for people who wanted to do startups.
Sure.
And I just fell in love with the idea of being an entrepreneur and starting a business and everything about it.
And you wanted to become a better golfer at the same time.
Yeah, but you know, it was really more, I saw a need for a tool, and it would help my golf game, it would help with other sport-related activities, and it just consumed me.
So you built a product to fix your need. How do you find out if other people need that tool at the same time?
For me, it was every time I talked about it, people go, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And I really just started talking about it. And I know a lot of people are worried about sharing their idea. Oh, someone's going to steal my idea. But if you don't share it, how are you going to know if it's going to work and
Right.
anyone's going to buy it? And so I'm of the school of we'll just beat them with execution and just build a good company and a good product and not worry about people stealing ideas.
It's better to find out without spending a lot of resources, both time, money, and whatever there may else be, early on to find out that no one liked it, or that maybe if you went down this angle instead, you could produce a lot better. For people that might be watching, what are maybe 3 tips that you would give them to start or grow a business?
The first is make sure you really believe in it. You've got every day, you've got to wake up believing in what you're doing. The other being making sure, realizing that this journey that you're going to go on is not just going to affect you, it's going to affect your family, your friends, and they're going to go through the highs and lows with you. And I think that's kind of important to recognize and to make sure that you have people around you who really believe and support in what you're doing.
Do you give those friends and families kind of updates of where you are, or?
I think they want to be involved in my life because they care about me. And so I need to tell them what's going on. And
Right.
sometimes it's hard. It's like, well, have you heard from so-and-so? No, not yet. Have you heard from, there's a lot of not yet. And sometimes their anxiousness can rub off on you.
Like, have you heard from this vendor, this
Oh yeah,
person that I want to?
yeah. Has so-and-so made the order yet? No. Did you sell any boxes today? No. But when good things do happen, they're there to share in your successes.
And very excited about you doing this.
Yes.
What about, and maybe the answer is through positivity, but some of the rougher times, how do you get through those? Because I think we all realize that it is a roller coaster, and there's going to be high highs and low lows. What do you do to get through, or how have you gotten through some of the tough times?
Yeah, I mean, certainly you hear no once or twice or 3 or 4 times, and you have to realize that no just got you that much closer to a yes.
Sure.
And I've used the analogy of fishing, and if you don't put your pole in the water, you'll never catch a fish. And so just because I don't necessarily catch a fish every time, okay. So I try not to get too invested in the no's, and also when a yes happens, I don't go like completely crazy either, because that's just another step. This is a constant
try
process.
and keep mellow
Even
through
keel.
that. Even keel. That's great. What has been maybe the best strategy that you've used to get your product in front of someone who you never thought possible that you could get in front of?
We were able to go to the PGA Merchandise Show in Orlando, and that was a fantastic way of just kind of meeting a lot of people and talking to PGA professionals and asking how they would use a similar product, a product like ours. And then we were fortunate enough to be carried on a Golf Channel. They did a little 45-second spot on our product, and when that aired, my phone lit up with orders. Then I knew we had something, you know.
Wow.
So now to me it's just a matter of figuring out ways to get that type of publicity, because when people learn about our product, they buy it.
Trying to recreate that spark
Recreate
over and
that,
over and
yeah.
over again. Sean, congratulations on being Entrepreneur of the Week here at Feedback Headquarters.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful facility, and best of luck with you and your venture.
Well, thank you.
Stick around. We have more from Daniel Veliki, including why entrepreneurs shouldn't try to do it all themselves. And keeping track of your personal and business mileage is no longer a problem. We'll show you an app that does all the hard work for you.
Welcome back. Earlier in the show, Cheryl talked with Daniel Veliki about his journey from landing in America with $100 in his pocket to becoming one of the founders of a Virginia Beach-based wealth management firm. Here's more from that interview, including why he says entrepreneurs shouldn't try to do everything themselves.
We are back with Daniel Veliki with the Opus Group in Virginia Beach, a financial planning and wealth management company. Let's talk about entrepreneurs who are at the very beginning. How do you help them get off on the right foot with their business and their finances?
Talk a lot, hopefully mentor a lot. I think people forget the value of mentorship, whether being financial or just, teaching people good habits. I can tell you when I started in the business, Mr. Ed Stein was a great mentor of mine, and he was in the business. And the greatest thing that he ever taught me, he said, Daniel, anytime you get any bonuses, commissions, tax refunds, whatever, he said, take a 50% rule. Take the 50%, save it, because you didn't have it. You're not used to it. You're not reducing your lifestyle in order to be able to do it. Right. And then take the other 50%, and blow it. And honestly, most people feel bad about spending money because they don't save money.
Right.
So consistently, you will find yourself having more and more and more money going towards savings, but your lifestyle will still increase.
Mm-hmm. As far as struggles that you hear about when entrepreneurs sit in your office, what are some of the common things that people deal with?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. A lot of them have to do with their dreams and how to get there. So it's how to deal with the banks and banks being able to see that vision, because entrepreneurs are visionaries. They are somebody that has obviously found a problem maybe in their life, figure out a way to find a solution for it, and then took it to the marketplace. Sometimes your regular financial institutions don't see it as well as the entrepreneur might see it. So a lot of times funding is the hardest part. Mm-hmm. So teaching them how to fund, teaching them what to look at, teaching them business plans and visions. It's a lot of stuff. People think that we're investment guys. We really look at everything. So it's, we come, it's like an Italian consigliere. They come here and they ask about everything. And we're able to, either through relationships that we have or the knowledge and experience that we've earned, be able to help them and guide them.
So if someone were watching this and wanting strategies, tactics, tips, if they've got their pad out and a pen ready to write something down, and they're asking from you some advice on how to grow their wealth, what would you say to them? Don't
do it yourself. Just don't do it yourself, because in this busy world, things don't shut off. Emails keep coming. It's impossible to find information that will really be fitting to you, because the best thing about the web and the worst thing about the web is you can find anything you want, bad, good, or indifferent. So, I don't do my own taxes, my CPA does. There's just people that are meant to do that. They have the experience, they have the knowledge, and they really can help you. So you don't have to do it yourself.
And I think that's a really great point. It's being an expert in your field,
yeah,
and choosing to just be an expert in yours. Absolutely. And not somebody else's.
Absolutely. I mean, I have one of my clients, he called himself a plumber. He's got a very successful, huge plumbing business, but that's what he calls himself. Right. And he just goes, I don't know anything about this other stuff. Yeah. And physicians are actually the best example of that. They are incredibly trained, incredibly capable in their own business, but they're the best clients to deal with because they appreciate education help and professional opinion when it comes to things, because that's what they do all day long. So it's great, and if you think about it, the most successful people don't do it themselves. So if you want to ever look at somebody else, they probably don't do it themselves.
Right, and they're not spreading themselves too thin, doing
Exactly.
a million things.
Yeah, just get really good at what you do. That's where the success lies.
All right, Daniel Veliki, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Let's stick with finance for a minute, specifically saving on your taxes. Keeping track of your business mileage can earn you a big deduction, but it can be a pain remembering and recording which trips were personal and which were for business.
But our social media expert, Naoma Doraguzzi, has a new app that does all the work for you.
So my favorite app that I just discovered is called Mile IQ. It's basically a mileage tracking app for you. You download it, it's free to download, and you have up to 40 trips a month that you can use for free. After that, it's only $5 a month. But what I've discovered is within one trip, it actually pays for itself. I've tried many different mileage apps. I've even tried writing down my mileage, but I always forget, and then it's almost like, is it worth it because I didn't record everything? This one automatically records your drives for you, and you just swipe left for personal trips, swipe right for business trips. It keeps track of your destination, the times, everything. It's very user-friendly to use, and you never have to remember to start it or to stop it or to write something down. And within like a couple trips, I think I've already logged $30 of business trips that I can use for tax deductions. It comes in a nice little spreadsheet you can download, and then you can send it off to your accountant, or you have that for your records for when you do your tax returns.
That's all for this week's Hampton Roads Business Weekly. You can find the show on Facebook and Twitter at HR Business Weekly or at hrbusinessweekly.com. For Hampton Roads Business Weekly, I'm Cheryl Tan.
And I'm Zach Miller. See you next week.